What's going on, YouTube? Yep, I'm back. You know who it is. It's Oral James. That's my name. I can't do nothing about it. That's what my mama named me. You did. So check it out, man. Right now, I'm in Welford, South Carolina. I'm picking up a load that's going to Corsicana, Texas. So, man, I want to take a moment first and foremost to, thank the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, look like return viewers that I may get to I may receive to the videos that I post, man. I'm trying to figure out the algorithm right now to see why I can't get my views or likes or whatever the case may be up like some of the other YouTubers and public figures and stuff like that who seem to just basically fart in the glass and they get a billion views because of that without even saying that. But anyway, so thank y'all, man. And just a reminder, if you are watching the videos, man, to remember to like. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. You're a new viewer that may come across my videos and just happen to click on them. I'm gonna just keep it raw. I'm just let you know this is not scripted. I'm not one of those type, YouTubers or content creators that I sit down and I create a lot of stuff, talk about a lot of different things, and I sit back and go through it and I edit it and clip out parts and stuff like that. It's with me. It's kind of like what comes up comes out. So what you see is what you get. It's raw, uncut. So I may say some things that may be popular. I may say some things that may be unpopular. But however, if I said it, obviously that's how I felt. You dig? So with that being said, let's get into it. So, man, it's been a rough like past week. I was supposed to put out 2 or 3 different kinds of videos. One I had wanted to do for yesterday, for Mother's Day. Obviously my mom been passed for 43 years. She passed when I was 4 years old. So, but I had made a song. I am a musician as well, so I had made a song titled "Mama" several years back. And so I had wanted to kind of do a video for Mother's Day and kind of add in a little clip of that song a little bit. But things kind of went askew awry a little bit on a load that I picked up to go to Pennsylvania. So I had a load that was delivering in Pennsylvania or dropping hook load. The reason why I came to Pennsylvania because there was a place called Royal Truck Service or something like that. Anyway, um, I had been shopping around for some new drive tires, and I'm not making enough money right now, or I'm not even going front to say I can go and afford those, brand new Bridgestones or Michelin's and pay $6,000 for those set of tires. So I wanted to get a brand that was beneath them, but not the bottom. So a brand that I had noticed, I had seen that I kind of like was a brand called Double Coin. I think it's RBL 400s, Double Coin. So I had them on my radar for a man. So for a minute. So I had been looking around trying to find, somebody who sold them, for a decent price. And I had found a place in Illinois, Shanahan, Illinois. I pulled up on them one day, a couple weeks back. They was taking forever. They closed at like 5, and it was like 4 o'clock. I'm just sitting there waiting. So I pull off. Soon I pull off and got parked about 10 minutes up the road. They went to call me and was like, "Hey man, it's your time. We waiting on you." And I'm like, "Man, I was sitting there waiting. People just standing around looking." So I kept it moving. So I ended up finding another place up in Pennsylvania that they seemed to be pretty decent, and it was they had a decent price, same tires. I had 8 on my mind. I wasn't planning on just going and get go out. Obviously we got air cap, so through Landstar you can go in there cover pay for a couple of tires. So I could have got a couple here, a couple there, a couple here, a couple there. So I decided just to go ahead and just get them, find them at a good price and get them all at once. So I go to this place. I don't know if it was a bait and switch or not, because when I got to the place and I let the guy know I was there for the, look at the tires or whatever, he showed me the tires they had, and it was like the kind that I currently have on my truck, which was like Bridgestones, but they was kind of starting to wear down. I think he had like some some maybe some Firestones or something. Or he had some other tires that was new. This had came out. They was kind of expensive. And then he had some called Dynastone. So, but he never showed me the double coin. So because I was already there and it was critical, I go ahead. I needed the tires. I went ahead and got those tires. They were some value tires. It was 2,200 for the set. I saw them on another truck when I pulled up out there. So I was looking at them. They looked good. I did like a little quick review on them, Google search review, and it wasn't horrible. So I went ahead and got them. So got them, and I was supposed to deadhead from there to like Baltimore, and try to find a load from out of Baltimore, Sparrows Point, something like that. There's somebody I wanted to meet up with in Baltimore. So when I had messaged them when I was like around the Fredericksburg, that area, getting those tires or whatever, they didn't respond. So I kind of stopped like at a little spot called Harrisburg, PA, looking for some other loads, stuff like that, while I was kind of waiting. And I should have had kept rolling because I ended up sitting up, ended up finding a load in that area that was picking up like a couple of days later. When I stopped, this was a Wednesday. The load was picking up Friday. So I said, I just sit here and do like a 34-hour restart. And so I'm sitting there, Friday, everything, starting the truck, turning like everything running smooth, perfect. I'm happy I finally got a new set of tires on my truck, stuff like that. Friday morning, get up, I go to start the truck. It won't start like the battery did. Now, mind you, about 3 days earlier in Indiana, I just had got another battery. Just had got a battery. So that was like the fifth battery that I've gotten in like 6 months. So all the batteries new, even the battery that I had to replace, it was new. But it was starting to smell like a little rotten egg, sulfuric acid smell again, as if the battery was bad. So I'm like, okay, I get the battery changed or whatever. So now the truck don't want to start. So I'm thinking, I got a load to go pick up. So, of course, now I missed the load. Contact the agent, let them know the truck don't start. The people at the Flying J, where I was at, he had a Southern Tire Mart. The guy come out there checking. He like, good news, bad news. Good news is it's not the batteries. Bad news is the start. I'm like, the start? I'm like, man, you sure? I'm like, it sounds like a dead battery or something. Like, he was like, yeah, it seems like there's a power draw from a strong power draw, but we got a machine that can test everything. So if it's the battery, it's the alternator, if it's the start, it's gonna let us know what it is or whatever the case may be. So that's when he came back and said it was the starter. So he was like, we could change it. It's gonna cost you this much and blah blah blah. Like, but go ahead. I ain't got no choice. So he ended up coming out there, sliding up under the truck, starting to try to get it loose. Then he say, man, he ran into a brick wall. I can't get it loose. The bolt seized or whatever. I can't get it out. So I'm like, all right, man. But now he didn't waste all my day. So it's like 2:33. So it's ended on a Friday. So now I'm calling around trying to find somebody who can get this start out. But what I'm thinking was the reason why he decided he didn't want to take that start out, because I'm thinking he kind of may have known that it really wasn't the start. He really wasn't sure. And he didn't want to go through it, take it out, charge me this money for this starter, about $1,200 now for the labor and the price of the starter, and then the truck still don't want to start. So, people that I could have gotten it done through my NTP warrants and all that kind of stuff, all of them was like, it was going to be Monday. They can come to it. Excuse me. I can get it told to them, like Fleet Pride, people like that. But it'll be about Monday before they can get to it, stuff like that. So, excuse me. So I finally found a place called Blatt and Tillett. And I told those guys what was going on with us. So he was like, well, yeah, man, we got a second shift come in, so we can definitely, do it. We can definitely get you in. They came and got the truck. They came and told the truck to them, to their location. The guy did. Took about 4 hours. They finally got it. He came in there. And he was like, hey, man, we were still working on your truck. After like 3-4 hours, like, we get into it. But I was starting to feel like someone right. So after he finally, all of a sudden, I've been sitting there fang coughing day. All of a sudden, you want to start coughing when I'm telling the story. So he came in there and said, okay, we got the truck running. And so as I was, finna pay for everything and stuff like that, he didn't seem too optimistic about it. So I kind of felt something was up. But the truck was running. I leave, go park for the night. We get up the next morning, start the truck, it crank, everything. So I'm thinking everything good. So not because I had to lost my load out of PA, I decided to go ahead and just, go ahead and head on down to Maryland, to Baltimore. So I get down there, pull into the T8, get in the fuel aisle, turn the truck up, off, get some fuel, go to start the truck. You guessed it, same thing. It won't start. So now I'm pissed. I'm starting to vent, talk crazy on the phone, whatever the case may be. Tried it the third time, it started randomly, like it just crunked. I'm like, damn. So basically, that's what's been going on for like the last, few days. That kind of messed me up for wanting to put the video out that I wanted to put out for Mama, for Mother's Day or whatever, including my song Mama on it. And so I finally found the load yesterday through an agent that I had booked out of this area, out of Carolina, because I really was over it. I was just from the deadhead on all the way to the house, put the truck in the shop, and I get to Baton Rouge, just be like done with it. But I found the load out of Welford, where I had did a couple weeks ago, that I took to Dallas. This one goes to Corsicana. So I just decided to go ahead and just do a little video right quick, just kind of tapping in, man, just trying to stay positive or whatever the case may be. So let me give you a quick look of the tires I was mentioning. So these are the tires right here. Hope y'all able to see them. They Diamond Stones 295 75 R22. You can see the treads on real thick meat, real good tread patterns on them. Of course, like I said, I got all 8. They look good, man. They, whatever the case may be. Just got old truck washed yesterday, but it was already starting to rain, so you can't really tell, how that go. I don't know if they did a real good job of it. I didn't really pay attention to it because I was actually nervous when I got to them. Whatever, I was nervous about the. You will see, I got the little blue and yellow in the tread. You know what I mean? Kind of stung a little bit, but yeah, they got all 8. So anyway, that's what's going on, man. So yeah, so now I'm kind of, I was going to do so it was like when I said it was a couple of videos I wanted to do. I was going to do a video basically talking about, which is what I named this video now, budget over premium tires. What's the benefit? Is there a real benefit to getting like the big boys, the ones I previously had? I think there was like Bridgestones M713s or M760s or something like that I had when I first bought this truck. And they lasted. One of them had, like, when I noticed when I first got the truck, one had like a little chunk missing out of it. So I got, went through Landstar, had them, went through the discount process and got a tire put on. But the other ones had been on here, for 15, 16 months now. But they were just starting to kind of wear down and stuff like that. So starting to lose their value. So I decided to go ahead and just replace all of them, you know what I mean? But those double coins, I still wish I could have got them, because those are the ones that I really wanted. But so like I said, but I don't know if the guy just pulled it off for me, you know what I mean? Said they had them, and then when I got there and he started to show me the tires, I didn't see the double coins, you know what I mean? So, but I'm kind of glad now that I didn't get those double coins, because they would have been like, a little bit over 3,000, being that I had to turn right back around a couple of days later and spend all the money that I spent on that starter. The good thing about the truck getting a starter is, like, that's never really a bad thing, because now that you got a brand new starter. I have a brand new starter on my truck, so it wasn't a necessary evil, but at the same time, it's not necessarily an evil. You know what I mean? It's a plus. The bad thing is the truck still having that issue. It's still kind of hesitating to crank. Still don't want to crank sometimes. So I don't know if it's my power inverter I got a power inverter. It's not the sine wave, SINE sine wave power inverter. So I don't know if it's drawing, from the batteries some kind of way, and because I never turned it off when it wouldn't crank the first time when I had to eventually get it. And the guy said it was a start. I had it on, but I was using it to kind of show me what the volts was in the truck. So that's how I knew that the volts, that the batteries wasn't really bad, wasn't dead, because my power inverter was still showing like 12.7, 12.6. On the dash it was showing like 12, 12.7, 12.6, 12.5. So I'm like, if everything seemed charged, the batteries and stuff are good, they all good. So why is it just like it's just it's hesitating, like it's not wanting to start or whatever? So, and that was the guy, was like the technician was like, he came to the consensus that it was the starter. So I don't know if he just boldface lied to my face like that, really just didn't know what it was. Sent me on that path and got me out of their way. You know what I mean? And ended up getting it started, and it's still having that issue. Is it a battery? Did he just not want to tell me, hey man, you just say you just got a battery change and put over here, but I don't want to rat on the people, but I think it's a battery. You may have a bad battery, or something is clearly doing something. So hopefully by the time I get this, this truck, get this load delivered in Texas, I have some time to try to go still take it to another shop and just drop it off for a couple of days. Just have them look at that, because there's something else I want to get looked at as well. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. I know I was speaking on doing multiple videos. One was supposed to be about the tires. One was going to be about Mother's Day and stuff like that. But so it was supposed to be two separate videos. Because of the unfortunate situations with the truck issues and stuff like that. And I've had to blend all of them together. So I may at the end of this video, I may put a little clip, from the mama situation, that I was going to do a full video about, and just kind of put that in on the end of this one. But yeah, so like I said, man, I'm not gonna do any editing in this video. I know I kind of talk back and forth and around and stuff like that, and coughing and all kind of stuff in the video and blah blah blah. But I'm gonna leave all that in, man, because like I said, it's raw and it's uncut, man. We not perfect. Nobody's perfect, man. So, and I know we like to make people think that we perfect and things are perfect, but nothing is perfect. I'm human. I'm just like everybody else. You dig? So yeah, man, that's about it for this video right now. So I guess again, I may name this video so I don't want nobody to think it's clickbait when they just see the video, thumbnail that says budget over premium tires, which is best. This was supposed to be a video. It was supposed to be one video strictly about the tires, but hey, I had to get a starter, broke down, all that stuff. I'm kind of not one of those people that want to record that stuff, because when it was going down, I was thinking about, oh, to be recording this and all that type stuff. But I mean, man, that's negative stuff. Like, you know what I mean? And stuff happens. Bro. So it's like, I don't really want to be with all that, you know, negative stuff. Because it's one thing after the Knicks, and it almost seemed like though with some of the guys that be posting videos like that of them breakdowns and of their breakdowns and stuff like that. Those are the videos that seem to almost get the most views. It seems like if it's a negative video, more people gonna chime in and tap in to, watch it. If it was something positive, then, seem like people kind of, what I mean, overlook it or whatever the case may be. So, but anyway, that's all, man. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. We had about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop at 19, 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here, man. So, as I always say, man, try to keep your head up, man. Try to stay positive. You get what I'm saying, man? Try to remember to smile. Try to, stay in a positive mood, even if, it is what it is, you did. So until next time, man, salute.